All right, welcome back to Visiblepreneur. Your host Isaiah Bentley here, and today I have the Nancy O. So she has a couple of things. She does tower gardens, and she also has Juice Plus. And this is gonna be a fantastic one. So Nancy, welcome to the show, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to this because, well, just because.
Yes, exactly.
We
So
just want to have fun, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. So I gotta tell you, what is it you do, and how did you get into it?
I have no idea what I do.
Oh man. Okay. Well, there goes the whole episode. Thanks for
Okay.
watching. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I actually am a certified health and wellness coach. And then I help people get healthier by eating better. And one of my avenues is through my tower garden.
Oh yeah.
And that's my my passion is my tower garden because I was so pleasantly surprised when I bought a tower garden. It's an aeroponic tower garden, and it is made by the same gentleman that built the hydroponic system down at Disney World. And
Wow.
so he then made an indoor one and sold it to the company I sell for. And he's just a wonderful person. But the way I found out about it is I went to Disney World, and at Epcot Center they have this whole system down there, and they actually feed the restaurant there. And I was amazed at this, and I thought, I gotta do this. I want, and this was like, at least 10 plus 15 years ago.
Wow.
So I finally invested in one this fall, and I have been growing the same vegetables off the same seeds since then. So it's very economical to use.
Yeah.
And people are pleasantly surprised at how delicious the food tastes. Now, we talked about, well, okay, we're going to confess here. We did a video already that messed up. So this is our
Yeah.
second one. Sorry.
Exactly. Second time is a charm.
That's
well,
right.
actually, third time's
Time's
a
a
charm.
charm.
Although you never know what happens with the second.
That's true. So I grow, because you asked me before what I grow on it.
Yeah. What vegetables do you grow on
Okay.
it?
So I do a couple different lettuces, but the thing that we were talking about before was the Swiss chard, which I had never eaten Swiss chard before.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. And what about mustard greens? I've never eaten those. Have you?
I've heard
Okay.
of mustard greens.
I hear the mustard greens are delicious on Tower Garden, so I have to get some of those
Do they
seeds.
have mustard on it?
I don't know. I wonder if the seeds are like mustard seeds.
Yes, I actually wonder. I feel like I just put a little mustard and then just work from
Yeah,
there.
okay. Well, you could take the leaves of your lettuce and make a sandwich out of it, a wrap. You know that. So our tower garden grows really big leaves. I am growing some cauliflower right now, and the leaves are like this big. And when you go to the grocery store, you don't get those leaves. And
Right.
so I found out recently that those leaves are edible. So why do they cut them off? Why don't they sell them? Right? And so you can put them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I put them in my smoothies now, and you can put them in stews and salads, whatever you want. So lettuce, spinach, kale. I have, what else do I have going? It's called Snowball Cauliflower, so they're baby cauliflowers, but it's a huge plant.
Yeah.
Basil, oh my gosh, it's delicious off the tower garden, and those leaves are huge. So now we have gone to putting basil in our salads at home.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome. And I didn't even know that you can grow herbs on a tower garden, which that's really amazing.
I have parsley growing, I have sage growing, I have dill. A friend of mine is growing fennel, I believe.
I don't never heard of that either.
Yeah, it's one of those spices. How much do you cook?
Not a
Okay.
lot.
So one of the big things that I promote with my coaching is using herbs in your foods because it changes the flavors. You can eat eggs, which is considered a superfood. It really helps you eat up the fat in your body and very lean. And so what I
Know that.
do is I cook it in all different ways, but I add all different herbs to it. So each time you eat, you could eat scrambled eggs every day, but with different herbs and have a different flavor.
Oh, wow.
See?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not know that because
Yeah.
I personally don't eat eggs. I just couldn't stand the taste of it.
Oh, that's such a shame. They're so
Oh
good.
God. I just cannot get into it. However, for those of you that are out there, continue eating your eggs. So
So the big thing that I've learned about the Tower Garden is one, the food is highly nutritious. It runs off of water
yeah.
and mineral blend and in air. It all runs on a timer. It's self-efficient. You add water to it whenever it needs it, which isn't, in the beginning it's less as the plants get bigger. It might be once a week. So there's no weeding because it's in a system. And it is just like the most fantastic surprise I have ever done for myself. I have friends come over and now they ask me to always make a salad because my girlfriend today says it's like having a fresh summer salad even in the
Ooh,
winter.
wow. I love salad.
Yeah, me too. I love it now. I never did before until about 4 years ago, but now I love it even more with my tower garden.
Wow, that's awesome. Matter of fact, I need to come by you and say, hey,
Yep.
I want to get a salad. Is it possible to get that?
Well, I bought a second one to put outside this year, and I bought one that could go indoors and outdoors, and I added the grow lights to it. So I used my outdoor one in the basement all winter. Now both of them are going outside because I plan on entertaining a lot this summer because with COVID, I have a lot of time to make up with family and friends.
Yeah.
And I plan on feeding my guests off of my tower garden.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And so I wanted to ask this because the Tower Garden, you say there's an indoor and outdoor one. Is there like a difference of what you have to do besides just protecting it from the deer, the squirrels, and other critters from eating from it?
Well,
And
mine,
rabbits.
yeah, and rabbits. And chipmunks. Darn chipmunks are so cute but so destructive.
Right?
Okay, so I plan on putting it inside a fenced area. So for our retirement, my husband and I decided to invest in putting a pool in our yard. So we had a separate fence put around that, so they will be inside of there.
Yeah.
Other people tell me that if a rabbit comes around or something, they've had to just wrap a little chicken wire around it. Because, those rabbits will get up on their hind legs and nibble off of.
Oh,
Well,
yes, they will.
yeah. So, but I put in a big garden last year, and my husband and I, we really got a good head start because he was off work so much with COVID. So we had all these beautiful plants put in, and we thought, oh, we're going to have a nice, prosperous garden. Well, the rhubarb, the deer ate within 3 weeks after we put it in. Totally down to the ground. Everything was gone.
Yeah.
And we love to make homemade salsa and homemade tomato sauce. We have some really easy recipes. And so we got all of our stuff together one day because the tomatoes were almost ripe. And we went out there the next morning to get them, and the deer had come that night and ate the tomatoes.
Oh, man.
So off to the farmer's market we went to buy the tomatoes. And so the money we put into the garden last year, we could have had a tower garden. So it's been very cost efficient, and we hardly ever go to the grocery store now except for eggs and milk.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I wanted to ask this, because you're also in the networking group. What has been your experience like getting into the world of networking?
I think networking is, and I've always said this even to my children when they were growing up, networking is the best place to be in the world. And we belong to the same one, and it's like a big family. And
Yeah.
I came straight from one of the groups today, and that's what everybody said. We are like family. We get to know each other personally. We trust each other. If I have someone asking me who should they use for something, I then look to the networking group because I know that they are trustworthy people because we know each other on a personal level now.
Oh, yeah.
We do outside activities, and it's just a lot of fun. We don't behave in our group.
No,
We're
we never do.
No, we're a little rowdy, which has been really, really amazing to me because when I walked into the networking group, I had this particular one, I had just lost a brother, and my heart was very heavy, and it's not heavy anymore. You guys, I feel like I need you guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people feel the same feeling towards each other in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to agree with you. It's brought a whole new world for me, and I just couldn't believe that, because different networking groups are different feels. I'd say we're probably the best out of the bunch because we bring the energy, we bring the excitement, and we bring the rowdiness too.
We do. We do. And I love that because that just shows our personalities even more.
Yeah.
Don't you think? It's just, you get to learn, like the person that cuts up all the time. And then you'll have someone there that sits there real quiet and just laughs and shakes their head. And you know that they're just thinking about everything. And it's the best group ever. I agree.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Don't you have a mentor now from doing your networking?
Yeah, I sure do. I have Amber Webb, which I'm gonna get her on here soon. She's my coach. So she's really gonna be pushing me out of my comfort zone and point my blind spots. Yeah, we were literally talking earlier today. So she's gonna be somewhere in the queue to get on the show as well too. Yeah, I really love it.
And I met my mentor, Manny, Coach Manny, as he refers himself to, Manny Rodriguez. And he has pushed me out of my comfort level on social media.
Yeah.
Like my age, social media can be a little intimidating to me, and just learning how to use it correctly. So that is such an important connection for everybody in networking. And you can see people kind of teaming up with mentors and different things like that, and how everybody's helping everyone.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I love it a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I was having trouble with my pitch at when we do our introducing ourselves, and someone sent me an email with ideas, and I was like so thankful because that just took it right off my shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I see, and that's how we're a big family, helping each other like that.
Oh yes, absolutely. And matter of fact, kind of going to what you said, because I remember you mentioned that you're one of the youngest grandmas that still go in. So your daily routine, you don't just eat healthy and coach people on health and wellness. You also run after the grandkids. You swim a lap around the pool. Tell us about that.
Well, I have always been a swimmer. I was a lifeguard as a teenager. And so I've always wanted to have a swimming pool. This was a lifelong goal for me. Yeah. And as my husband gets close to retirement after working for the same company for 45 years, we decided we were going to invest in a pool because we want our family around us. And when the grandkids come over, man, I'm the one diving under the water, picking up dive toys, and I do everything in the pool with them and swim with them. And when they were too big to stand, I'd catch them, and whatever I could do as a grandma so they could have fun, because these are wonderful memories. And I grew up, my grandparents didn't have longevity, so I didn't really have grandparents growing up. And I want to be there for my grandkids. So like I said, we don't have longevity in our family. So my goal in life is to help people have longevity. But not just longevity, is I want them to be able to go out and ride their bike for 10 miles like I do. I can get on my bike. Now I can't do it every day anymore, but I can ride my bike one day and lap swim a half a mile the next day. And so I'm always getting in some type of activity to stay young. And I want all grandparents to have that.
Yeah.
All grandparents deserve that. Their grandkids deserve those memories of those good times.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. I guess once I get to that age, then I'll find out myself.
Well,
I got a long way.
You have to have children,
Yeah.
and you'll want to keep up with the kids.
Yeah, you're right.
Accidents happen. I have, testimonies to that, and some parents can't be around for their kids, but those that are there for their children, they need to be strong. Their immune systems need to be good. It's very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also wanted to ask too, have you always considered yourself an entrepreneur? Like, how did you get into this world of, I want to say entrepreneur and, just being a business owner, life changing experiences, new learnings? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, when I graduated from high school, I went straight from high school to working as a bookkeeper because I came from a large family. And back then, my father told me that he had five sons to put through college. And if I wanted to go to college, I had to pay for it myself.
Mm.
So I went straight into the working field and I went in as a bookkeeper. I loved it. It was for a small family, and I learned working for a small family business is very rewarding. And
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted my own business. I got married a year later and I took a cake decorating class and started decorating cakes. And then I took a candy making class with chocolates and I learned how to make chocolates. And I always wanted my own bakery and candy store. So that's what I strive to do. I worked out of the house while I had four children. And once they all got in school, I opened that bakery slash candy store and we had crafters in there. And I just had that feel because I knew I was not a good corporate employee because I always had ideas. I
Yeah.
had my husband's aunt one time told me I had a good business sense, and I never thought of it that way. But once I embraced that and saw what she was talking about, I decided I was always going to have my own businesses. And so that's what I did. After I closed my bakery because of family situations and kids going to college and that, and it was just too much to balance. About a year later, someone asked me to do direct sales. And that's when I learned about direct sales, and I did fantastic in it. Just fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And because you're also one of those people like myself, like, you've had ideas on what you wanted to do, and, whether that you were working a job, uh, you've had the ideas that you just wanted to get out there, and unfortunately, no employer, unless they're probably really, really good, depending on the boss. Anyway, I would say none that I've ran into would like to take ideas that you've had and implement them.
I agree. And I think that's where we are our own selves. And that's why we want to have our own business. We have those ideas, and that's that business mind. And we know what we want. And we see what, when we're with the customers, I did some jewelry sales that it was fabulous because I got to be creative with them. And it was really good, but the corporation didn't understand. I think if we did this, that would be really good. And let's say your hands were tied with your abilities of creativity. And I think that those of us that like to be creative are very good in our businesses. I think we find our passion and we just run with it.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, one thing I say is that God has a plan for everyone, and for those that who do not want to get into the world of being in business, it's not for everyone, because besides the stress and the whole different factors that you go through, um, you know, if you have an idea, it's best to just act on it.
Right.
Like, if you just let it sit there and you're what's called, the saying is analysis paralysis, you're not going anywhere. You're just gonna stay stuck there. You're just gonna try and learn about everything, and then you're not taking action against it.
Yeah. And I think that when we hit those stress points in our own business, we know how to overcome them. We have to be really organized to work at home. When you
Yeah,
work from home, there's a structure there. You can't get up and go do your laundry or make dinner. You have to have your work hours. And long as you stick to that and you stay focused on what your goals are, there's nothing more that fills my heart when I succeed at something or when I get a new customer who calls me and says, "Oh my gosh, I love my tower garden," that's so heartwarming. And that's something I did, not anyone down the chain.
Yeah.
You know, your podcast, every time you have a good podcast, look where that fills your heart.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
To get the different folks on here, let them talk about their experiences. You never know, maybe somebody would want to reach out to them, hey, I actually need that person. You just don't know where it'll go.
You know what? That's where networking comes in. You're always networking everywhere. And being kind to people is so important because you never know when it's going to circle back around and you can help them again.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I really love that. So I wanted to ask, how does someone get in contact with you, whether that be, hey, they want to buy a tower garden, they need a health wellness coach, anything like that? How do they get in contact with you?
Well, the easiest way probably is to email me at nancy@nancycares.com. No one can spell my last name, so that's where the Nancy O comes in. So nancy@nancycares.com. Or, if you want to send a text, that's fine. My number is 314-742-1217. So I do everything by phone. I'll meet you in person. We can Zoom. We can do whatever convenient and easy, because I want you to be your healthiest self. So whatever people need is what I do.
Yeah, I love that. So, why do you do this?
Because Nancy O cares.
Yes, that's right.
And I really do. I've had a plethora of people pass away in my life that were very close to me. And I personally feel had they been a little healthier, they would still be here. And I want people to be healthy because they deserve it. You deserve to be healthy, and that's what's important.
Yes. Yes, that is the truth be told.
Yes, yes.
So, alrighty, well, thank you for being on the show.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. And for those that are listening, don't forget to check out our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Would really appreciate it. And if you definitely want to be a guest on the show as well, feel free to email visiblepreneur@gmail.com. Would love to have you on there. Also, don't forget to check out Anchor. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I believe iTunes. Don't quote me on that. There's a couple of platforms that we're also on that I still to this day cannot get it right. That's my little running joke because I actually cannot get it right.
We cannot be perfect every day.
Exactly. So with all of that, thank you for watching and listening, and y'all take care. See you on the next one.
Bye.